Hi, this is Flash Drasman with another episode of Suzerain. So let's jump onto the main screen. A few days later, let's remind ourselves where we got to. Excuse me. Troubling news are coming. I don't understand. Troubling news is coming from the Mayor of Enrique reported that a state of chaos exists in the city and called for an emergency directive authorising him to use security powers. In an announcement, Mayor Lest said we're reporting 20 police officers heavily wounded, 2 police stations burnt down and several shot. Okay. We don't want that. And basically, local nationalists, fascists, whatever they call them, want to call themselves National Front, you know, said they will assist. You do not want that. I've been steep in the last decade. Narbil is mythical things. Narbil is that. Okay, so what's it about Narbil? To the news, Narbil. Welfare issues, we know about that. Unrest continues. More problems, lack of security, and the communists and the nationalists having a fight with each other. Radical is going to hate us again. Yeah, I made a mistake on the actual finance bill. I didn't read it properly and agree to it. In actual fact, that just strengthens the big parties at the expense of the smaller parties, which drives the minorities to the extreme even more. Yeah, I made a mistake on that one. Yeah, I made a mistake with that. That's what I'm going to look at. If people want me to focus on something a bit more, let me know, because I tend to kind of gloss over them, because reading them out loud, I don't think I can read all of it without making it sound really boring. Let's see if I can pick out the pertinent points. Workers' pot of blue deer. Yeah, we've Sideland and Bite setting the threshold at 10%. That was a mistake, that really was. Basically, we set it so that you have to achieve 10% of the vote to receive public funding for your party, which means that the smaller parties are now ruled out, which is a mistake on my part. What are you saying? Yeah, Bloomberg has closed its consulate. We've sent an angry letter to everybody going, we're really angry. Okay. Right, so we've got that, how he's been, but let's have a look at a scan of the countries. Oh, we did trade, didn't we? Trade negotiations, or trying to lay that, having a chat with trade and what have you. They're the problem up here, Bloomberg. Young Sword claimed that his connections to the government, we are investigating the truth. Okay, we're getting poor Young Swords. Young Swords are right wing. Right. Yes, we've got the young communists and the young fascists knocking the 7 bells of crap out of each other. Taurus Holding was our new business we went for, the construction of the motorway. Okay. What major? Okay, meeting with. Oh, this is a guy I don't trust. The administration have been working hard day and night and on an overwhelming amount of issues that we're facing the country. Department sent several documents which require my signature so they could start work on new decisions that were taken. After I signed a dozen of my closed my relax for a moment after another long day. Even though I really wished to leave the palace for the day, Lucien had earlier told me the Chief Justice wanted to speak to me. We planned to meet at my office in half an hour. I waited for him, wondering what subject he would arise. Poor whiskey. Let's relax for a moment. Stretched out my arms and looked out the window. Thousands of shimmering lights in the whole sort of skyline were memorising. Suddenly I had a knock on the door. It was Lucian. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Must be pleasant to the man. To you too. I'm sorry I couldn't explain the situation to you in detail earlier, sir. The Chief Justice insisted on seeing you this evening. It's going to be about the Constitution. It's a no-brainer, that, mate. I told you that. Basically, we're trying to change the Constitution to take away the power from the justices, from the Chief Justices, which ain't going to go down well. He will be coming shortly with Judge Mr. Garcia to meet. We shouldn't take them lightly. They're here to threaten to stop. Yep, I reckon they are. Yeah, that's fair enough. There are 3 knocks on the door. He looked rather worried. They're early. Good evening. Welcome. Let's begin. Good to see you, gentlemen. Let's just be polite. Good manners cost nothing, as I was taught. Sat on the sofa, may I? He wants to sit down. You go, please. Again, just be polite. We all took our seats on 2 opposite sofas and made ourselves comfortable. A bit. Excuse me. Right. How are your first couple of months, Mr. President? I hope you are faring well. Who is this guy? We can't get information up, can him? Aaron Garcia. Served from 45 to 49. Can help me held on. Apart from the King's, he's old school. The King's Army held lieutenant until the dissolution of the monarchy in 23. He was due to marry the sister of General Darien. Okay, he's like Starko himself. Oh yeah, he's the old guy we got rid of, isn't he? Oh, okay. Okay, so much to take in. Let's find it again. Give nothing away. Thank you very much. Considering all that's happened around us with the shootings near the past on the soldiers on our borders, he let out a deep sigh. It is troubling time, it is. We appreciate your concerns, so you probably know why we are here. Please doesn't like us, Mr. Dog. Yeah, go on. Let's play dumb. We know you are working on a new constitution. Yes, you do. The Supreme Court does not approve of this, and that's the problem. If I could get to me government bit, government overview, political overview. So you've got the cabinet, this lot. I've not spoken to half these people yet either. Factions, the old guard, yep, oligarchs, reformists, yep, legislative. We command a majority, but then we don't know how much our party is split. And this is a problem. We've got the 5-volt, yeah, the old guard. So they have a final say on all rules, I think. Anyway, let's see what they've got to say. The Supreme Court does not approve of this. With all due respect, the Constitution needs to be updated, sir. I am sure you are all aware of the public demand and our circumstances. Is that so? I see that you are the one who is not aware of our actual circumstances. You want to make a weaker Constitution in the midst of problems from inside and outside. Even if proposals pass the Assembly, I will make sure it will not pass the Supreme Court. That is much is clear, and that's the problem. The Supreme Court can stop anything. You haven't seen the proposal yet. Yeah, I'm saying that. Let's just see what he's got to say about that. I've done a lot of under the rock, Mr. President. That's fair enough. I know what goes on. You, Mr. President, seem to only partially informed about the current situation. Go on then, let's hear what they've got to say. Oh, please explain. Go on then, let's go on again. Let's play dumb. We have protected the Constitution because it works, Mr. President. It is sufficient and gives you the authority to lead the nation with swift decisions. That's right, the Constitution gives me the right to kind of rule over everything, I think. I should really pay more attention, shouldn't I, really? Sordland has more important problems and threats that we should face right now instead of nitpicking about some paragraphs in the Constitution. We have a potential war within our borders. Yeah, on our borders as well, mate. Hand, signal Heron with his hand to let him speak instead. Mr. President, I know you're a busy man, so I'll make this quick. We know that Swedish security forces found stashes of Umbergian weaponry in the hideouts of the Blundy separatists, and the KA-74s are roaming inside Sordland as we speak. They're the guns they are, I reckon. Yeah, they're the Wumberg weapons, basically. As much as Wumberg places a direct threat, it is now clear that we are they're also intervening in our country and weaponising our minorities against us. It's not unprecedented to think that the Bloods would start their terror campaign again with their new toys. That's why we should have tried to bring them in. That's a mistake I made with the funding of political parties. I basically pushed them even further out. I'm going to regret that decision, I already am. Not to mention the fights that broke out between the left and the right wing after shooting of Bernard Circus. Communists have, again, it's a problem. We've got the communists who have got the support of United Cantana with the communists, and we've got the young swords who I think have been the Blundish are being weaponised by Rumberg, and we've got the young swords as well running around. It's a bit of a mess. And sadly, we don't see the administration taking the necessary precautions. You said you will not focus on military during your term. Under current circumstances, that cannot be tolerated at any cost. He's right, they don't. Mr. Hawkey, you have no jurisdiction over these matters. But regardless, Workers' Party of Blundia, and they are the political side of so basically they are the separatists are the military wing of the Workers' Party, which I'm assuming anyway. Okay, everybody knows that. Let's go. They claim otherwise, because they would do. They claim they have no ties to separatists. Most of their party members used to be part of them before they formed. But again, I do believe that. How about the name, Mr. President? It is not the Workers' Party of Sordland, is it? As far as I'm aware, there's no nation called Bludia around here. They are not in assemblies because of the election threshold. They've gotten quite big. They're clearly getting outside help, and the connections in Palatrimity Blue Church cannot be denied. Again, I can't argue with that personally. And all of a sudden, the reformers are trying to decrease election thresholds so that Blue separatists can be legitimised in the assembly and achieve their aims of independence. Yeah, go and see what he thinks. Yeah, well, again, you got to think he is up to something. Okay. The changes also been communists who back. Do I see a pattern yet? The fragmentation of Sordland as a guess, but for what? Yeah, go on, tell me, because I'm struggling myself a little bit. Look, this is not conspiracy theory. Haven't you been briefed by security? Maybe you should suspect them as well. Communists and bullied plots as increasing military possible conflict with Rumberg. Yeah. Of course, not falling to traps of the reformists by listening to their demands. They are clearly plotting to weaken the president and the whole administration in order to exploit the situation. Again, reform is basically a threat to your position, you old buggers. Brings some very important information that we have. It's definitely something you need to hear, and it can change absolutely everything. Go on then. With all due respect, I think this is getting slightly ridiculous. Please explain. Let him talk, Lucian. Let's see what the guy's got to say. Then perhaps somebody put a bullet in the back of his head. I can't do that. I've not set myself to be that type of leader either. So just delete that previous comment if you don't mind. The person's question is Mr. Frenzerick himself, the leader of the reformers. Good, here we go. Acacia are Acacia are the big boys. They're the big, powerful kind of Western superpower. So you got United Quintana on one side, and you got Acacia on the other way, smack down in the middle of it. Again, that doesn't surprise me. That's not a great surprise. Acacia aggressively growing their influence around the world. Now, if Mr. coming up with ridiculous demands for new constitution and Mr. Celtic period in Sordland, that is not what's not surprised, but I'm not surprised about that. All pieces fit perfect. That is why the Supreme Court will do everything what it takes to stop these reforms and preserve the constitution. I'm not surprised he's got ties with our case, because he wants a bigger democracy. So he wants to support off the biggest democracy in the region if they're a true democracy. They're a constitutional republic, so that's an absolute no-brainer, really. How do you know Mr. Richter has ties with Acacia? Mr. Galad, we all know he has been in Acacia many times because it's documented. That's why do you think he's been making hidden flights to the country? It's been, Please explain. Spotted in a hotel in Acacia last year where they held conference of economic developments in volatile regions. Right around this time he started to influence the masses in believing our constitution is the reason why for everything went going bad. Yeah. His trip was not documented, nor was his official guest of the conference. We believe they had a meeting with President Walker behind the closed doors. I have a couple of more photographs of him that were taken in a case of different cities, one from a couple of months back. Again, none of this is documented. He's attended another event in last week. The Acacia Minister of Finance was there too. How do you find out about this? Many Salas were already following his leads for quite some time. I suppose I cannot give away identities, but I can give you the evidence. He handed me a small file. It contained documents from the Swedish border guards with highlighted dates. Showed no trace of Frenzerick's name. There are clear photos of him that were taken. The conference in Acacia has been mocked by a lesbian and Acacian citizen who claimed to have seen him with Acacian businessmen around the same dates. Finally, gives us something to bury him with. The official transcripts of one of the speeches were claimed he to be in Benfield on those dates. There were also official transcripts of one of his speeches where he claimed to be in Benfield on the dates of the conference in Acacia where he was spotted. So basically, Lucian's looked at the documents going, oh god, they're true. This seems to be real. Of course they're real. So it's Acacia's beyond the reformist demands, will only benefit Acacia whilst a weak administration while we face all these threats. This is clearly a plot against Sordland. I bet Rumberger gets part of their plan too. This cannot be coincident that weaponising our minorities against us around the same time. God, these guys really do believe in big conspiracies. Now, you understand the reasons why of our current stance, and also our suspicions about your advisors, who clearly have not given you this vital information. Lucian gave him a sharp look. We appreciate this information, Mr. Hawker. Advise against jumping to conclusions right away. We'll check this information. We still need to check the information. It's not much to think or check. This is clearly an emergency. In such cases, the Constitution gives the President the right to use his emergency powers. If we work together, we can be sure the Supreme Court will not block your declaration of emergency, i.e. turn us into a dictatorship. You want me to declare an emergency? Of course, we cannot wait for the process of the Assembly to take care of these issues. I am not doing that. That's completely the wrong thing to do. Which means you might need to suspend parts of the Constitution to give yourself and your more authority to a security force to deal with these issues. We must officially investigate Mr. Richter as well. Christ. You can devise a strong security degree if you base it on Articles 57 and 58, which gives the President the right to suspend parts of the Constitution to the national security threats. If we do that, that plays right in the hand of everybody else. You can directly bypass the Assembly in these situations. The only thing you need is the Supreme Court to allow the emergency to be declared. You have a word on that. If we do that, we're playing to everybody else's hands to take us out. I agree. Let's not jump too fast, too far, too fast rather. Nope. We can advise a plan together. I know how we can use the Constitution to our advantage. It will be effective. I advise against it. I won't be cooperating, Mr. Hawker. Yeah, let's go with that one. I'm making a big mistake, but we'll allow you to succeed. Go on, let's get angry. Oh. So it's done with us now, let's take our leave. Get out. They stood up. Have a good evening. Best I think without saying anything else. Yeah, that sounds a bit ominous, me to take care of them. Yes. I think I gave my view on that earlier on. Okay. We need to take care of them. We have to make sure responsible passes the court. That's a tough one. We need to take care of them. It's basically we need to have them given concrete boots and chucked into the Mercapole, Bay, whatever it's called, in that big bit of water over there. We need to take care of them. Also, we're doing whatever it takes to damage you. That is true. There's so many old guys sympathisers in the party. We can't divide the party. How can we not do that though? He will definitely try. After a short evolution of the situation and out of our hands, Lucian left me in the presidential office. It's obvious the old guards will be my main rivals in the near future, which is a no-brainer. Okay, continue. Right, so we're at the end of another year or another period. So we continue, proceed to the next turn. Oh, anyway, it's evening right now, so I'm currently enjoying a drink of Brewdog Double Punk, a postmodern classic, which is, where is it, 8.2%, and it's bloody lovely. I have shares in Brewdog. My wife says, you drink a lot of Brewdog, you must have shares. I said, I do. She didn't find it funny, but I said, I do have shares. And she find it even less funny. Anyway, we digress. That's a quick rummage around the country, see if I ever got anything to say. Okay, news. Okay, we've got lots of people want to speak to us. We've got... That's what the news has got to say first. Sordland today. School pausing revolt. Police have arrested. Police in Southern... Jesus. Oh my God. Jesus. That's not good. Time for women to stand up. I should really read these. I should read these for more tips. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but it's a radical. They hate me. Organising with valleys. It is time for Southern to realise what it's... Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Women should have equal rights. I have no problem with that. Budget changes. Okay. Commonwealth be promised today. Missing fishing vessel. Yeah, I remember because we want to be friends with them. We want to try and be friends with them, but they hate them. Okay. Right, okay, so it's all gone a bit... Yeah, because we've got some kind of people that of Agnolia in Sordland of Agnolian descent. They want to be friends with, but they hate each other. Yeah, this is a right mess. Okay, where are we? Let's start over here. Local residents bear 1,000 books claim to be spreading communism and communist theory. I'm not even going to try again. Melanie vest. If I could, any tips on how to pronounce that properly would be duly welcomed. Berlin, token, red youth, and the work. Oh, that's not good. Youth groups from both our party and the nationalists. Oof. We don't want them joining forces because. Let's go over here to Narble. What they've got to say. But hospitals are overburdened and unable to respond. Yeah. So our hospitals are a complete mess. Our country's on a complete dog's dinner. Bloody resistance is sanctuary. Two different unity. One of them. Okay. Alright, that's a religious retreat then, basically. What do you mind? Ah. Okay. God. I'll look over here. History is getting battered. Oh God. People want more money off me. Young swords and young swords led by. Yeah, that's happening. That's happening in a lot of places. Young swords are joining the National Front. That's not good at all. That is not good at all. Okay. Okay. So after having a break from work, it felt like years, and weather couldn't be more perfect. Trying to keep my mind off the upheaval sparked by the circus assassination, I lit the backyard grill. Donald and Diana were out shopping, giving the staff the day off, and me and Frank were at home. I wasn't sure about how he felt about me at the moment, but I didn't know he felt about the barbecued ribs. Cool. The staff had made some for us, marvellous. Of course, so we're having a barbecue. Yeah, let's go with that one, eh? Ooh. Okay, yeah, we're going on. Yeah, a bit light-hearted moment there. Fire. Me try again. Oh God. Yeah, it's been nice. Bit of father-son bonding time. Got some beers together. Also a couple of beers. Go on then. For yourself, quick. Yeah, basically Mum said you don't have to drink, but I'm going to have a beer. Yeah, hard-working always had our best interest in mind, or at least that's what we always said. Temple and latch out to my mother in 5 seconds from my bedroom. Now that I was president, I was facing more stress than my father ever had. He's right there, don't take it out on the family. Yep, you can. You ask me anything. You're right, there wasn't. Yeah. That, mate, I do not know. I really, really do not know. I didn't, but I can't stop it from happening. I hope not. It's true. Told you advancing towards my friend's weapons drawn. Yeah, murder in alleyways. Yeah. They were dark times, that's true. Oh God, I'm not sure this is the right thing to do. 27. Tell Frank about the Civil War. Your mother joined the student council to push the change after the coup of 27, but over the next year the state of Sordland deteriorated. People started picking sides. I tried to stay away as much as I could. Happened two defected of the army, one of them led by fascist General Ludo and the other by socialist General Ricard. Fighting it was a bloodbath, nowhere was safe, yep. Seat visibly uncomfortable, stayed out of it. I heard about the class the next day. One of my friends was shut arrested and isolated myself for months. That's enough for today. And yeah, fair enough, level-headed kid. They are two sides of the same coin. You're right there. So I but since my look to go on, he simply nodded. And based on some of them, I thought nothing compared to what you went through. Yeah, that's a bit harsh. What problems? I had the front door unlocking down it, man. Yeah, what problems? Right. Yeah, there's something wrong with him. There's something definitely wrong up there. Oh God, it's not coming in nightmares. Okay. Alright, let's have a quick flash of the countries around us. Let's start off by looking at the news headlines. The economy is still crap. But attack open fire on 70 and for death 17 dead. There was part of them. Oh God, he took the weapon from the newsstand square. Okay. Basically, lunatic shoot 17 people. Messenger to protest. Okay. The radical. Yeah, this was more look and more think this was a classic mistake. 12%. Yeah, I've just given the opposition something to beat me with repeatedly. Anyway, I didn't anyway. Oh well, too late now. We've done our best, we've got to line it. Once we've got conversations over it, see what you guys say. Morning industry output concerns. Last year. Okay. So industrial output is down. They want support for the industrial capital. Journal codex. Journal. Okay, that's a journal. Excuse me. It's on chapter 1, bloody hell. Let's have a quick look at what they're going with the capital. Right. The reformists from the party clarified demands from the government in the party congress for upcoming constitutional reform. The reforms won't better stand behind the reform package. Okay. Free market economy. Okay. President Rayne is okay. Keep political prisoners. Okay, that's. If you notice, we're sliding further and further into total and complete anarchy. That's a construction project. Okay, I was travelling. There's no coverage of Narble in the August region. for rural development organised by the Health and the Education Ministries. Okay. Mountain the city of Narble has gritty tones to it. It's a poor city in Sordland, but its people hardy and wary. Even after discovering natural resources in the area, years of neglect by central government were apparent on the buildings and general infrastructure. Natural resources, namely gas and oil, are now under the cover of Gassum, which elevated the corporation to a place of power. Who are Gassum? Sordland. I don't like them already. My task is informed with the mainly symbolic fake smiles, handshakes, the way about meeting with politicians, but more importantly of all, make sure that Marble does not feel forgotten by the government. The scenery safe, however, is wrecked through Narble's neglect. Main roads and cities are not maintained well. Yeah, because where's the money from the natural resources going? Having to swerve to avoid inconveniences, the motorcades finally started nearing the city. Window. Having a hotel soon. Yep. I'd smell them his breath. What's the smell for? My Suzerain gave birth to my sons. That's gone Hulsgard. That's great news, I'm happy for you. Be able to afford a good private school. She scores less than the entrance exam. That's smart all the time. I had my daughter like her. Day. Yeah, good. That's a nice comment. Okay. The country, yep. Right for her, yeah. Yep. I agree. George, your doctor said he was very healthy and thankful to his wife. Yeah. Hospitals. Hospital. Got a hospital. Exceptional. Surgeside. You're a good private school, but the court said for education it's going to be hard for us. We'll fix the economy, we will. We do. Yep, we do. Okay. Paid. Entrance. Thank you. Have a good day. Wish me to everyone present. Glad for activity. Here's the mask of a politician. A mask that I was very used to. Right, so we're now in Narble. Quick look over here. Have a quick sketch over here. Young swords. Another terrorist attack. Christ. We've got to do something about the young swords. Look over here. And demands from public side out with that. Implementation of term limits and limited degrees. Okay. I wonder if we could get rid of this friends guy with his links to Arcadia and still push the reforms. Kind of kill two birds with one stone. I arrived at the meeting for my talk with Cara and Pascal. Before the meeting, I took a moment to appreciate the view from the balcony. The mountains of Narble were completely covered with snow. I was memorised by the scenery. Pascal Bennywell walked over to me. Who are you? I don't know. Minister of Health was ironically somewhat partly having gained a few pounds since his breakthrough as best-selling writer, but his authority on social affairs could not be questioned. Such spectacular views. The Minister of Minister Cara Wilder, the Minister of Education, joined us on the balcony dressed in a blue sky pantsuit. Lovely. She likes trousers so people gossip about her, but she don't care. Good girl. Spectacular indeed, but if you look at the opposite direction, you will see Seoul's decades of neglect to the city. Most of the people in Noble are workers, farmers, and their wives and children. Farmers and their wives. Let me read that again. Most of the people living in Noble are workers, farmers, and their wives and children. They're breaking their backs for close to no pay, all thanks to greedy corpse. My intention is to help the working class. Yep. See item on this issue. Real problems like poverty. Taking quite bad about himself. Best and good books about plight of Sordland's less fortunate, drawing from his own past, growing up in squalor. I need to talk to you right now about my own experiences and poverty. I don't need to talk to you right now. Yep. We've all gone through difficult times. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, basically, sex discrimination and a crap ton of poor people. Don't got serious. This is the time. Holsland addresses issues. Holsland addresses issues on both the wishes of the hawks and fearmongers in the establishment, diverting more resources to military and law enforcement. This is why this game is so good, because it pulls you in so many different directions. So at the moment, we've got military threats in the north from Rundsburg. We've got interference from the United Cantana with our communists. We've got National Front fascists also going mental. We've also got massive poverty and infrastructure issues across the country as well. So the game pulls you in so many different directions. Wealth, healthcare and education systems have been decades since recession. And I did say it was education I think I try and sort out. Hopelessness and the lack of opportunities can drive people to extreme solutions. Increased crime, domestic violence, and inequality between men and women. But if you're tackled from different directions, what the hell does that mean? How do we stop change, create jobs and growth? Yeah, I might go with that one. They should just play a huge role in living standards, but urban real. I'll start. Yeah, they always do it. Always do it. We can't fix the economy by ourselves. We have to educate the people and create new opportunities too. Yep. Which I want to mention, I've been working on improving the rights of workers in our country, and I've proposed a draft bill that is currently in review by our party. Batman gave his support. Sordland's fallen most. Right, so basically, with Sordland's fallen behind most countries on the subject, and it's my responsibility to ensure this is not the case. We need standards for our workers, yep. Exactly, someone must provide for its own people to move forward. I agree with that. Matter of life and death, every decade we hear some horrific accident due to employees' disregard for their workers' safety. So would you back the bill and analyse it this, Mr. President? I need context in detail. Outline, yep. Yep. Head inside and talk more. We headed back inside. The meeting room was already prepared for state business. Small gifts for each of us had been placed on the table by the municipality, and we took our seats. A health overview from Pascal, as he was president. Thought there was a free healthcare system except for a few private hospitals operated under it. Most of the populace receives adequate treatment. Health issues primarily appear in rural areas due to lack of quality services. Okay. Doing my best to ensure that citizens of all ages receive the best healthcare they can. I also personally want to resolve the high infant and maternal mortality problems. How many doctors and nurses do we have? We have 31.5 doctors and 31,500 doctors and 70,000 nurses working for the Ministry of Health. This is a high number. What I think is, I don't want to be rude, but out of those numbers, how many are in urban and rural areas? Good point, yeah. data shows that per 10,000 people in urban areas there's about 11 doctors, while in rural areas there are only 3. Treatment time is still too high due to a low number of doctors in rural areas which barely get proper coverage, which is true. What's the hospital? How many hospital beds are per 10,000 citizens? There are 10 beds per 10,000 citizens, which is a very good number according to comparisons with our neighbours. She's going to jump in and ask about what the split is. We are seeing low number in countries of Agnolia and Wales. Obviously we can't match Lesbia and Vagsland. Harder countries take to standard, but it's good to know we aren't in a huge crisis yet. So mortality rates, life of expectancy is 63, and infant mortality rate is worryingly 85 per 1,000 births, while our maternal mortality is 90 per. Christ, that's awful. But assured we're doing everything we can to save mothers and their newborns. Numbers are saddening, I agree with you. With everything we can. Working on to improve, yada yada. Thank you, Pascal. Okay. Idea about education system. This is what I said I'd do some work on as well, with pleasure. Soldier education is free, but we have a very outdated system that I want to reform. The other important issue is that the lack of access to education in rural areas, especially for young girls. Your administration has a power to solve both problems. My highest priority is to get enough funding to be able to build schools in rural areas while I can cleanse our education system of nationalistic indoctrination and sexist teachings. How many teachers and students do we have? Currently there are 5 million students, 3 million in primary, 1 million in secondary, 1 million in tertiary, and there are 155,500 teachers. Sordland is full of bright and young minds. Yep. And there needs to be a change in the way I think there needs to be a change in the way of thought. We should help our children question and educate themselves. Yep, I agree. Literacy rate, please. Literacy rate is 80%. This is a very good indicator for future growth, but needs to increase. It's far lower in girls and boys. Most literate areas are Bergia and Agneland, which is correct, although Lacha even skews aesthetics for the Nargis region, which is also a vast number of illiterate citizens. This underlines my point about lack of access to education. Tell me the difference between the rural and urban areas. Areas are 3 times the number of schools per 10,000 people compared to rural areas. Rural areas also suffer from a lack of teachers. Imagine teachers not preferring desolate areas. So to tell us the teachers of rural areas we need to increase the pay given them to give them more incentive. Thank you, Clara. Can I fill in the bank? I can fill in the banks from here. Okay, I believe that is everything. They stood up, moved to the window, took a deep breath. What is it, Clara? Kira. Look at this impoverished city. The streets are full of potholes here. Hospitals barely function. The schools half open. It's not just about solar even off. Also failing this decay. Sordland's forgotten regions and has been going on for decades due to the structural corruption, which is fueled by capitalism. Oh, blimey. Let's not get ideological debate. We need to focus on the issues. What we are here to change that trend and improve it for the people. Let's go with that one. If you say I'm working on your education system support, your support would be welcome. Or another, we need to transform greed and unchecked capitalism. What will not magically provide for the people. Tell me your plans. My plans require an increase in government budget. I aim to solve the problems we'll highlight with the allocated money. By building schools in less fortunate rural areas and through fundamental changes to the education system, will unlock the potential of our children, boys and girls alike. Let's go with that one. Investment would provide the investment. God, I'm sorry, I can't speak tonight. The investment would be the future of Sordland. Imagine the untapped potential of our youth unlocked, the knowledge and wealth they would generate. Wouldn't a promotion of private education help create additional fund? Yes, but what? Because I'm not supportive of the private sector in education, because at the end of the day we're focused on profit first. My wife, being an ex-teacher, has had that debate many times. Yeah, that is a debate that happens in this country a lot. What are you working towards, Pascal? I personally want to improve the low quality of healthcare in the rural areas. So I created draft plans to increase salary of doctors and upgrade equipment of hospitals. I can do more with increased budget. Additionally, a privatisation plan to promote private investment in the healthcare system would allocate extra funds. And again, within the UK, the use of private funding within the healthcare system is a massive debate, because obviously we have the NHS, free for everybody, free at the point of... NHS it's classed as free at the point of contact, free at the point of delivery. So basically, it doesn't matter who you are, you walk into hospital, you will get treated. But then there's a big debate in this country about how much the private sector will be involved in that, and then there's a debate about its money, healthcare for profit. It's a big controversial debate in this country at the moment. Anyway, I digress. Isn't access to healthcare in rural areas an issue? Access is an issue, but not as critical as equality in these areas. A lack of experienced personnel and core equipment causes bad treatment, resulting in many deaths. I hope to create competition and increase quality of healthcare with a privatisation effort. Again, this has happened in this country, and I'm not sure it's worked, but anyway, that's a debate for a completely different time and a different video. A private healthcare system would increase the price of treatment and make access worse for every citizen. The decision would not to promote state control would cost the people dearly. My expectation from our government is that we understand and focus on the needs of the people. We are elected representatives of our people. We advertise their needs. More briefings. I'm not committing to anything right now. I think we covered. Okay, thank you for your time. I hope we won't repeat the same mistakes again and again. Have a good day, Mr. President. Oh, wait. Ministers left and I attended their official business in the city. The weather was relatively cold and it didn't keep their group of US peace supporters coming to cheer us. Right, bring with 50 minutes, I'm off for another 5 minutes. Find a suitable place to stop. Just looking at the citizens' attack, it was easy to understand the current start of Narbil. People wear clothes that were too large, some kids didn't even have shoes. Christ. There was hope in their eyes and excitement to see the president in their city. Okay. Right, what we're going to do, we'll read the news. See what the paper have got to say. President protests wind down in Halstead. Okay. So what's that saying? Lots of arrests. Okay. Police clash with protesters. Tuesday. Police forces using force increasing every day. Shocking. Misogynistic rally. Reward again. Yeah, doesn't sound great. Soldier man needs answer for his crimes. What was that then? It was a bloody protest in 1933. His hand was raised. Okay. Okay. Alright, one last to go. Alright, about private education. Saying how great it is. Okay, I think it's a suitable place to pause. Okay, I'm just going to go over to here. Hope you enjoyed that. And comments would be great. If you think I've missed anything, shout out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.